So yeah, tell me what's going on, man.
Oh, sorry. With start with what?
I don't know. Today's date and how much longer you're going to be in Denver.
Hmm. How am I gonna word that? Today is June 5th. And I'm in Denver. Oh, not June 5th. Today is what is today? Damn, I'm rusty at this. Today is May 30th, and I'm gonna be moving to California. I'm gonna be landing in San Diego um, June 5th, and then I'm gonna be doing some business stuff. I'm working on some T-shirt designs and all that. And I think it'd just be better for creativity. And I'm from California. I miss the West Coast. I'm a West Coast person. So I'm working on that. Originally, my idea was to design surfing clothing and stuff like that. But what I didn't like, I like that, but it's like I'm just too creative, where it's like I'm staying too much in one area, and I just want to branch out. Bring like Black history, um, bring in graffiti art, bring in like you could do surfing too, like I was doing before. Just everything to keep a wide variety, so I have people what they so they can choose what they would like and all that. So
So explain that plan to me a little bit, because I think if I just was walking in, I wouldn't understand what you're talking about.
so um, so what I'm trying to do um, when I start my business, and I'm just trying to make it look very artistic, so someone comes in.
Wait, go back. You want to start a business. Tell me about that.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to start a business, and what I want to do with the business is I want to start a clothing line. And then I want to design stuff. So I use a website called Kittle, and they have like some different like designs. What I do is I blend them all together, because in all honesty, I can't draw. It's unfortunate, but I'm not that talented, and I'm too cheap to outsource it, you know. But so I use that website, and then I'm gonna design a lot of stuff that's gonna do with like I definitely like African American culture. I'm part African American anyways. I like a lot of stuff when it comes to graffiti, skate, surfing. So I'm just gonna be designing clothes in those areas. So when you walk into my shop, you're gonna see like a lot of stuff. What's gonna do with like let's say skateboarding. You're gonna see a section that's gonna be graffiti, art. So it just depending on what you want. If you want like street art, if you want more of that chill surfer dude kind of stuff, we're gonna have that on another side. Just stuff like that. We're just gonna sell that. Um, and then I have a buddy who's working on a company himself, so I might partner with him with his Made Whole company. Um, and then he lives in California too. So
Yeah, what's the company gonna be called?
mine is gonna be Kiss Cal. And so the point of the logo actually is it could sound kind of cheesy, but it's kind of cool. But it's like California for the cow, and then kiss, like I'm kissing California, like I love California. That's the expression off of the logo. Kiss Cal, Cali, Cal, California. So that's the point of the logo. But yeah,
All right. Remind me when I come back around, because I'm gonna have to look over your shoulder and stuff, and I got to get the logo and get what you're talking about.
yeah.
But in the meanwhile,
I did change my logo. I gotta figure that out.
while I got you
Mm,
here, so
hmm
all right. So what's wrong with Denver? Why can't you kiss Cal from Colorado?
Um, I'm just not a fan of So I'm leaving Denver because I'm not a fan of Denver. Um, I also like the diversity more in California, like the cultures, and I would just blend in better there. Also because I'm from there, and I've been wanting to go back for a very long time. I just haven't because I've been kind of running from some stuff in my past. What was like I was adopted, so it's my biological parents, and I was like, man, they're from there, and I just was like, I don't want to go there, and because I looked for them for a while, I just feel that pain, but California's always been home, so it's time for me to go back. Um, and it's like, and even if you can't find them, your parents and stuff like that, like even though I can't find them, it's like, why let that stop me of where I want to be? Like that's kind of stupid if you think about it, right? Because guess what? Unfortunately, there's gonna be pain everywhere. So I'm going back just because it's it's home, and Denver isn't it. It was good for me to find myself. That's what Denver was. It was very good in that area, but not
Tell,
anymore.
tell me about that.
Finding myself.
Yeah, finding yourself in Denver. Like, what
Uh,
happened here?
so I need to leave. So I was in Arizona before here, and I need to find myself. But I just need to go somewhere else. I was gonna be just get space where I knew no one, and just start over to kind of figure out where I want to be in life. So sometimes you just got to go somewhere you don't know anyone. Fortunately, I know people in Florida, right? I know people in Washington State. Even though I hate Washington State. I know people in Oregon. The only places I would really go would be California. Um, and I picked here because it was kind of the winters suck, but it was closer to like California and Arizona weather during the summer. And it wasn't there was not humidity. See, I like dry heat. I hate humid heat. So here was perfect for me in the balance, and they had decent programs out here because I was on the streets before. And also with the business, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to partner in the future with some nonprofits. And like I won't give funding to nonprofits because in all honesty they have the money. But what I can do is I can design T-shirts and I can, give them to nonprofits. And eventually I want to open my own workshop and then go to like these homeless programs for like youth and young adults, and go in there and just have them work on designs so they can just express themselves in those areas.
Yeah.
So I definitely do want to partner with that.
All right. Let me ask this question. You don't have a place you're going to move to. Like we were just talking about, is it Orange County? Is it Long Beach? Is it San Diego or Dana
Yeah.
Point? Like, so you're leaving.
Yeah, so right now I'm leaving.
Hang on, but you don't know where you're going.
No.
Tell me about that.
So I'm gonna be moving to California. Obviously, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but what I'm very good at is always finding a place and hostels, cheap hostels and stuff like that. So I'm actually gonna be flying from Denver to San Diego, and I was looking at San Diego, but what I think I'm gonna do is stay in San Diego maybe for a week, and then I'm gonna end up hitting the Amtrak because there's an Amtrak station, and go to Orange County, and there's an Airbnb out there for like really cheap, and I'll go out there, stay in the Airbnb, and then like get like a week there, and then what I'll do is probably if it's a good area and I like it, I'll probably get like a month down there, just stack money for a month there, and then I'll might go to Long Beach and just kind of travel around. It's also good because it kind of keeps my creativity up. You see a lot of different stuff if you're going to a lot of different areas, and you can just be more creative in those areas. So
This may not be any of my business, but
hmm
like, how much money have you got to go make this move? And you can tell me honestly. You could say, "Hey, Adam, I love you, but fuck off."
no, I'll tell you. So I'm going to California with right now I got $20 in my pocket. I'm trying to get some more work though. The thing is, I get work once I get down to San Diego, so I'm not worried about it. There's a lot of resources to get work, so I don't worry about it. Like I can get work every day if I really want to through temp agencies, through there's different sites where you can go like on GigSmart, and GigSmart is like an app on your phone, and a lot of like companies will hire temporary workers, and so you could be unloading trucks, you could be assembling stuff, but you get like $130 a day on average. And that's enough for the Airbnb I'm looking at. For the hostel, that's a whole week right there, 7 days pretty much. So it's like there's so much opportunity, and you can honestly make way more money with these jobs because you can double shift. It kind of sucks because you're going to be working like 24 hours, but if you can just do that push, you could get like $300 in like 24 hours, rest for a couple days, and then do the same thing, get another 24 hours. And I mean, work another 24 hours and get $300. That's like a week of work, pretty much. $600 minimum wage a week. Pretty. I think it's a little bit more, but pretty close.
In the time you and I have been talking, you have done 3 kind of longer gigs that I can think of. maybe more. You were working at that one factory where the sort of Christian lady hired you.
Yeah.
You were doing the security stuff, and you were in their trainee program, and then you were doing Amazon.
Yeah.
Walk me through those gigs, if there were any others, and tell me, like, I guess, sort of what went wrong with them.
So I worked at multiple different companies. I worked at a manufacturing one where I worked with diesel parts, and then I worked at a security, and then I worked with Amazon. So the factory one, it was really good for me at first, but I started not liking it because once I got in my place, my boss started asking too many personal questions. And personally, when it comes to work, I like to go to work, not talk, not have friendships, just kind of go to work and go home. Less, we can talk at work and be friends at work, but after work, it's like we don't know each other. It's just good for me to take that personal stance. And she was kind of pushing some boundaries, and I didn't like that. I also don't like, and this isn't sexist, but I don't like that she was a woman as my boss because at least how I was raised, I got to be a gentleman. So when it comes to work and you have your boss who's a woman, you're working manufacturing, I try to be the gentleman. And then sometimes that even can push some lines and it just kind of gets awkward. So I'm more gentle when it comes to women. And so I acted more like she was just a nice, polite lady, and she's my boss, and I definitely am not a fan of that because I can't do my job as well. And then I just don't like staying at jobs for a long time. That's why with all this hustle work, I'm doing this instead because I like to travel. I don't like to be held down somewhere with work. I don't like to be held down in housing forever, but I also don't like to be homeless, right? So that's why I do like hostels and Airbnbs, and I was doing that. I've done it before, but back then I didn't understand the opportunities, and I also didn't understand if it was worth it. Is it worth paying $1,500 for a place where I got to stay, or I can pay less or just as much to be able to travel? It's just the difference is I got to prepay that, right? So like if I don't prepay it, guess what? I got no place to stay. So in a sense, like I stay more on my toes, but I can actually save more money, right? If I literally do a hostel, because I can literally get a hostel for like $700.
For how long?
For a month. So if I can do a hostel, $700 for a month, what I can do is I can work like a month. I get like a month of work. That's $3,000. I got like 3 months and a half worth of money saved up to be able to of housing. And to be honest, I would just do 3 months. The rest is for bus fare, blah blah blah, food, all of that, and then keep on working to keep that up. And to be honest, I can just get EBT. So I'm still considered homeless in a motel or an Airbnb. Work the system. So
Wait, what's EBT?
electronic. It's a food stamps. It's like where you can get free food. That's what EBT is. Which kind of great. California can get hot food too through the EBT. Eat at McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's, but you can eat at Jack in the Box, Burger King. I'm not sure what's better, Jack in the Box or Burger King. Some Denny's now you can eat at too.
I hardly ever eat a Jack in the Box.
I'm not a huge fan of Jack in the Box, but when I was in Arizona, we just hang out at a nice Starbucks, and there's a Jack in the Box right there. So I go get Jack in the Box, I eat, and then I go to Starbucks and eat it right there. Chill. I don't want to be all bad and being jealous.
It actually doesn't sound bad.
It's not. I gotta log into my account. What is it doing?
So, what's going to happen with? I mean, like I want to talk about debt. I want to talk about your debt with like Urban Peak and this joint. Like, what's that adding up to?
How much I owe?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. I can look right now. Let me see. I think I have it in my portal. I think it's like $3,000. So, well, honestly, it's not that bad. It's like a month of work, but where is it at? Portal. Let me see. That's actually not as bad as I thought. 1,500. Right. Okay. And then I get charged for this month, so that will be about $3,000. So that's how much I'm in debt right now. What honestly, I could pay that off, and once I pay it off, I already have an eviction for the past my record. If I want to get housing, at that point, just pay it off. In a lot of places that accept people's evictions, as long as you got a job and you're making enough, and you can always make enough if you really want to. I could get housing again, no problem. You just got to find those places, like second chance apartments. Even this place, I got into eviction. I'm not saying you should get more debt and get more evictions, but that's why I am. But there's always opportunities, and so that's what you got to realize.
Doesn't this shit scare you? Like walking around with the dead, or not knowing where you're gonna
No.
sleep, or any of that junk?
No, not really. Doesn't scare me.
Explain that to me, because I need you to put the question in your own words to be able to cut in. So
Can you give me like 30 seconds? I'm trying to log into my account, so when you come back here, I can actually start the designs real quick.
here, no, let's do this.
You want to do this first?
Let's
Okay.
do this first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
because I'm not gonna come around on the designs probably for another like 10 or 15.
Oh, okay,
minutes.
cool.
We got.
So, what were you saying again?
Tell me why you aren't scared of.
So, there's a couple reasons I'm not scared. One, because my faith, right? It definitely keeps me stronger as a Christian. But also, the reason I'm also not scared is I've been through so much in life. I've learned a lot, right? When I first was on the streets, I wouldn't say I was really scared. I was more just stressed out, right? And what I didn't realize is I needed to be less stressed out and see the present, right? Because through everything of what is bad, there is always good, right? Like this thing, and I was thinking about where I am now and then where I was in Phoenix. Recently I was reflecting on it when I was homeless in Phoenix, right? And it's kind of cool when you start to put this in perspective and realize two things. There's always opportunities to get work and get a place. And then also there's always fun when you have nothing. And there's always light. And what I had to realize is I had to think of an example of when I had nothing. And I thought of when me and my friend, right, we both met each other in a shelter in Arizona. His name was Jay. We had nothing. But what we do is we go to Starbucks, we had EBT. We did have stuff, we had EBT. And we'd go get burgers. Then we'd go get drinks, right? Go get like a soda or something. And we'd eat food. And we just sit outside and just talk about life. Talk about culture. Talk about how we don't like a lot of the modern day rap. Like it may sound cool, but like it just isn't talking about a lot of good stuff compared to like how rap was like a long time ago, where they actually talked about equality and talked about, how, time actually struggles and then trying to bring culture into it. And so we just taught like Planet Asia. I don't know if you heard of them, but they do some, they're like old school music, hip hop. And they more talk about equality. And they're not talking about these modern.
You're telling me in depth about this conversation you had with your friend Jay. And what I really want to talk about is like.
Oh yeah,
like
sorry.
The day to day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why am I not stressed about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sorry. I'm not stressed about going and just burning down bridges and stuff like that, because like I said, there's always opportunities to be able to get on your feet if you want to. Two, my faith in Jesus Christ, right? He always protects me. And then three, you just got to change your mindset on life, right? You got one life. You just got to, just enjoy life at the moment. When you can start enjoying life, you're going to have less fear in life. But if you can't enjoy it, you're going to be thinking about the negative and all the bads. And a lot of times with bad, there's a lot of fear and stuff like that. So it's mindset, religion, and knowing there's a lot of opportunities. And that's why I don't get nervous when I burn down bridges, because I know there's always a chance to get back exactly what I have if I put in the work. Is that kind of what you wanted?
I think so.
Okay.
I want to ask this question, like, what's the longest you've ever held a job?
I actually had a job for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was a good job, actually. So I worked for a company. This was actually when I lived in Washington State. I worked for a company called Bowman Dispensers, and thinking about it, that's what actually got me into wine design stuff. But I wasn't willing to take that jump because there's a lot of people doing it. I didn't think I had the talent, but then I decided, you know what? I do have the talent, and I'm gonna do it. But I worked for this company, and I was an assembler, but I also did silk screening. And so silk screening is like printing, but you're using like ink and silk, and so you use like it's like a squeegee pretty much, and just kind of you just kind of like get the squeegee, and you put it on like an ink board, and it has like a print design, and when you pull that squeegee towards you, what it does is the ink sinks through the ink board, and then it prints on like plastic or t-shirts and stuff like that. You can do that in t-shirts, but nowadays it's all going from it's going to heat transfer or like direct ink injectors, and those are like machines that literally do like dots and inside those. But when I worked at that company, I did assembly and silk screening. I pretty much did everything in the warehouse. I wasn't a manager, but I was trained like that, so I was like a floater. And so thinking about it, what really, after I got kicked out, then I was on the streets. I got kicked out of my place from actually my parents. I was on the streets. What really got me in the kind of doing different jobs is because of that job. Because I was trained to do so many different things, I just learned that in a lot of companies, you're doing one thing. This was the very few companies that I could actually do a lot of different stuff. So me, I'll work for a company for like a month, then I'll go to a different one because I don't like doing the same thing, especially if it's not my company. If it's my company, obviously I'm going to enjoy it because I'm personally not going to start a company that I'm not going to enjoy. What I could do every day and enjoy life. So, yeah.
Why did that job end?
Management. So my job I was working at, it ended up ending. I ended up quitting because they changed management and my boss was trying to harass me every day, and I was like, nah, I was like, I'm good. So I ended up leaving, and then I actually went to a boating company. That company was a really cool company to work for too, but I ended up getting laid off because they hired too many people, and I was the last hire, so they went down the list. So
I'm gonna boom up real quick.
yeah. What's very unfortunate.
There we go. 'Cause I feel like I'm losing you a little bit behind that computer screen.
Yeah, see, look at that. Someone's trying to give me some. Ben might be giving me some work. See, look at this resourceful person working that system. See, look at this fine guy.
Can you angle that computer screen like?
You want to go down?
Not that much, just a little bit. Just so
like
you
this?
can still see it. No. I still want you to be able to see it. I just don't like you can't see it there.
Oh, I don't need to see it unless you want me to see it for looks.
Bring it up about 5 degrees. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look at this! Look at this dumb right now. I'm not gonna show you.
What do you got? Here, show me. What?
I'm telling you, these women from here be tripping.
What's she doing in that shot?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I didn't use Snapchat. I had to literally have a woman show me how to use Snapchat when I came here. Because I use Snapchat, but I don't use it because some of my friends are too freaking broke to have a phone service. I'm like, bro, you can go get food stamps. You're broke enough to get it and go get a free phone. Now, why? I look like a hoe because of you. I hate him. I hate him so much.
All right, so now who was that woman?
Her name's Emma. So, do you want me to talk for the screen about that?
Yeah, talk to me. Yeah.
So I have a friend. Her name's Emma. I actually met her from the church I go to. I actually met her, and it's really funny, through her brothers. I went to a church retreat, and I met her brother there, and I was talking about how shitty her brother was. She's like, "Oh, Max?" I was like, "How do you know Max?" "That's my brother." And I was like, "Oh, I love your brother." He's like, "You good?" But so we just started talking, and to be honest, I kind of started liking her. She's not even my type either. She has a really big heart though. She was like abused by her mother and stuff. So like, and I kind of was in that situation, so we kind of related. But she's so friends on me. But we tight friends. But it was funny because I asked her, I was like, "Yo, so what? Why don't you not like me?" She's like, "Personally, just not my physical type." I was like, "Yeah, same thing to me." She's, "I realized you got a big heart. That's one reason I liked you." And so we kind of started talking, and it was kind of funny because um, it was like it was kind of weird after for a little bit for me personally. But like these girls, they get hit on, I'm sure, so much. It's just normal for them. Me, I'm like, damn, you know. But she told me to cut off my hair because she didn't like dreads. I was offended. I was really offended. I was like, in Phoenix, the women love that. Same thing in California. I said, "Emma, you got no place to talk because you guys don't have no fashion here. You guys wear flannels. So don't talk to me about fashion or what looks good because you don't know." But yeah, we have like, she's like a sister.
Nice.
She's a pain in the ass. Like one time she tried to give me a hug and then she like just started squirming. Started like wiggling and stuff in my arms or something. I was like, "You want a hug and now you're just trying to get away from me? What the heck?" I was truly offended.
All right, right on. Okay. You just said something about Emma and her mom and you and your mom,
Yeah.
and you've been telling me like a couple times, even on the way up, you were saying that like, yeah, you don't want to know your neighbors. At work, you don't want to talk to people. What? Tell me about that.
Well, like I like to talk, trust me, at work, but like I try not to because it distracts me. And it's like there's a difference between talking at work and then talking like we are best friends, like we know each other after work. That's where I have the problem. It's not having conversations being friends at work. It's when they start talking to you like they know you outside of work. And then they don't talk about friendly conversation at work. Then they ask you, "Lil, what are you doing after work?" Or, "Yo, what do you do after work?" I'm like, "None of your business." It's just something I don't really. Sometimes it just depends on how deep you're trying to get. Are you trying to know you're gonna go to the bar after? I'll tell you 100%. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go to the club. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm not trying to go to the club. God doesn't like that. But it's sometimes you have a little bit of fun. But I'm trying to do better. I don't really think that's good. But personally, just as a person, realistically, because it's like where everyone goes to get drunk and then they make out and then you just kind of look like a whore. And I just try to be a loyal person, personally. So,
I think what I want to ask
but
about though isn't even so much just work. Like, do you make friends pretty easy, or is it tough?
I can. I definitely can. Like everyone at my church wants to hang out with me. Like I'm a pretty darn fun person to hang out with. I make friends better now. Before I was fun, but I was too nervous because I didn't have confidence in myself. Now, trust me, I be walking into places like I own places. Okay, I be acting like I'm the person who own it, and to be honest, I'm broke. I just walk. You gotta walk in like you own it. But it just took a lot of time over with the abuse and everything I went through. It was like eventually it just kind of gets to you, and I just needed to honestly just take some time and just understand myself and just build those confidence. And then once I started building it, and once I started becoming happy, because that's the thing that people don't understand. When you act miserable, no one wants to hang around you. But when you act happy, people want to hang around you. You're like that sunshine. People want that. And so when I go to church, I'm not gonna lie, People would make fun of me because I'll start dancing like, bro, you can't dance, just randomly. But people, even though I looked like an idiot and it was kind of embarrassing, they didn't even care because I was so much fun, right? To be honest, I'm miserable in my place. I ain't gonna lie. Like until I got friends coming over. But when I go to places with people and it's just to hang out, I'm a fun person to hang out with. The hard part is there's only a few places I go and hang out with people, and a lot of times it's church and a young adult group through the church. So in a sense, it's only like once a week. So it kind of sucks because unless you're going out with friends during the week, because I have friends and they literally hang out with a person like every single day, a different friend every single day. I don't have that, but I also don't really keep my friendship group. I have a few good friends. I can make a lot of friends, but I also am very honest, and a lot of people don't like my honesty. So a lot of times friendships can break. Because if someone said, "Do you look ugly? Do I look ugly today?" I will tell them, "You look ugly, or you look good." I'm like, if you don't want the hard questions, don't ask me. I'm very straight up.
No, I hear that.
So, did that kind of answer? I know I kind of went a lot of.
A little. You dance around.
But I think it's the ADHD. I really need to work on that. I feel like that's why I also don't do good at work. Staying in one place. I don't do good with work when it comes to staying at one place because of my ADHD. I want to do this. I want to do that. I can't stay in one place. I hate it.
Why do you think that's the way you are?
Why do you think I have ADHD? Or
I'm wondering. So straight up, we're just gonna ask the question like straight.
uh
Do you think shit you went through as a kid has hurt you going forward?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about that.
I do think the stuff I went through as a kid definitely hurt me in ways. Mainly because I didn't have stable housing. Well, I did. I had okay. When I was with my adult parents, I had stable housing, but I didn't have stable. It was like I was in a stable place, but I didn't have stable attention. Maybe stable. I didn't have a lot of attention, and it was hard for me because I was also adopted, and I don't. There's a little bit of a scientific behind this, but a lot of people don't understand when you are taken right. I was taken straight from CPS, literally right from my mother. So I didn't even really meet her. She popped me out. And I was just I was just there, and they took me straight away in the hospital. Right, child abuse, stuff like that going on, and so no matter what, even if I don't know my parent, even if my adult parents never told me, I would deep down, without really knowing, I would know I was missing my biological parents. And so it's like, even though I was adopted and I was in this family, even back then, it felt more like friends than family. And so, and you need family and you need friends. Because family's going to be those people who are supposed to be by you 100%, but obviously we're human. We're all gonna let each other down. But you're living with each other, right? We're friends. They're supposed to have your back, but you're not living with each other. And so, I think that because I didn't know my real mother and my adult parents felt more like friends, I never had that father, right? I never had that mother, and it definitely has affected me through life. Because a father figure makes you tough. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm tough, but I had to be tough in different ways where I couldn't grow up, develop normally, where it's like I'm tough in this area and I'm tough in this area, but I didn't learn how to cope with it appropriately. So in a sense, I'm stronger mentally, but I don't know how to approach stuff, I would say. And so it definitely has made it hard being in normal society with approaching people, approaching jobs and stuff, because I never was really taught just out of, through being taught that and then seeing the actions through that, of how to act. through someone who actually mattered.
Did they abuse you?
Yes. So it was kind of weird though. It was so my adult. That was the other hard part, right? Imagine being given up by your biological parents, being adopted, and then being abused by them. Right? To be honest, me and my adult parents, we talk because even though they caused me a lot of pain, I also have to realize, is it really worth hating them? Because we all make mistakes. Not saying what they did is right. Definitely not saying that. But at the end of the day, I wasn't the best child either. Right? So I got to come from that standpoint and then just work through it. To be honest, they were never family. But this is how I look at them. I look at them like they're friends. Friends that we may not have the tightest relation. Like we're distant friends. That's my adult parents. But yes, I was abused here and there. Mostly mentally. And mentally I would say is worse than physical in a sense because it fucks with your mind. I should not have swore. It messes with your mind. I try not to. I swear way too much. It messes with your mind, and I would say it has a longer lasting effect. I did have some physical by my father. He was in the military, kind of, he's a nice guy, I guess. I don't know, but like when he got angry, it was kind of one of those people you just wanted to let him do his thing, don't get in his way. He's a big dude too. I was like, nah, I'm not small, but I'm not as big as him. He could sit on me and kill me. I ain't gonna lie. And he's not like fat. He's just, he definitely had some beer belly, but he had big muscles. Military dude. His dad was a SEAL in Vietnam. I was like, so, but that kind of answered it.
Yeah, I think so.
I have a hard time with explaining that. It's because I'm still trying to figure it out myself with explaining about my adopted parents and all that because I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't even know.
Is there... I don't want this question to sound cheesy, but if you look forward in your life, what do you want to have? Like, what do you want to have accomplished or have? Yeah.
Yeah. So when I look forward in my life, what I want to have is I want to have a life with a girl, because I haven't had one yet, and I don't know why, considering how sexy I am, but but then I really want I definitely really want a girl, and I just want to have a job that I really like, and that I can kind of do like traveling, or let's say at home, with her, or we can spend more time because I don't want to work a consistent 9 to 5. I'd rather work on a business where I can do my own thing and enjoy it, but at the same time, I can be more free. Because I feel like with businesses, you can be more busy, but you can be a lot less busy because you have more options of how to run it, where it could be more automatic once you learn all that stuff. And I want to, because I feel like, in all honesty, like the divorce rate nowadays is because, like, if you look at it, look how much rent is going. It doesn't matter where you go at this point. Here's expensive, unless you go to the Midwest, but who likes the Midwest? We'll be honest. But it's so expensive pretty much wherever you go. Here, California, at this point, I don't even care. People are like, it's expensive. I'm like, yeah, it's expensive everywhere, right? It doesn't matter at this point. But I feel like the divorce rates are really up because you do this 9 to 5, right? You go there and guess what? You're working all the time, right? You get home, the wife is like, go clean this shit up, right? And you're like, bro, I just want to sit down and get a beer real quick, right? But you're so busy working this job, and you just can't, when you can't have a connection with someone, it's hard to really be able to be in a relationship. And so what I really want is to have a good relationship with girl, have some kids, but be able to have, I'm fine with kids or without kids, but to have just more time, and just be able to have that freedom. I just want to, have that, be able to go to the beach all the time, and just be able to give her what she deserves. Because in all honesty, all I really want is I'm a compassionate person. I come off as a jerk, okay, 100%, but I really have a big heart, and I really do a lot for someone, and I want to be able to have time for that.
So what do you got to do to get that? To get the girl, to get the job with the flexibility?
Well, I gotta make this business work, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Um, if you're happy at what you're doing and you like doing it, I believe that you can always make it work. You're gonna put more effort into it.
All right,
Um,
so tell me about the business. Tell me about Kiss Cow and your plans.
so the business, obviously, it's a t-shirt business. Um, Couple plans I have is I do want to start actually selling t-shirts in about 2 months. That is my goal. 2 months to start selling. There's a couple things I gotta get situated because one, I gotta buy at least some t-shirts. There is a site, according to my friend, um, where I can get like some really good t-shirts for like $200, but I gotta do some legal paperwork, some different stuff. He's helping me with that. Once that happens, I want to like my first batch. I want to order like 50 t-shirts. So that'd be like, we'll just say that's a $200. We'll just round it up to $200. Um, and then then I have to get the stuff, and then I have to get the stuff to be able to print it. My friend can print them for me. So what I might do is I might actually I'll probably lose money on the first amount. What's fine. I'm willing to lose money on the profit to try different stuff out, to learn what people are buying if they're interested in it. And then, because that's going to be my main thing, figuring out what people like and all that. And I'm going to lose money 100%. Sometimes you got to lose money to gain money. And so I definitely going to lose it. So I need to do that.
How are you going to start selling these shirts?
And then, so one, I'm going to start selling the t-shirts websites. Two, I do want to get a stand out in like California and stuff and go to like farmers markets, all of that, and kind of set it up and sell them for really cheap, right? Try to get try to see if people like it, talk to them, be like, yo, what do you think about this? Get people's input. And honestly, I'll even, throw some out for free. Do some different stuff like that. So that's how I'm going to try to start getting it. The great thing about farmers markets is you can set up. I think you got to get a license. We only got to pay for it. So I'll get a license to do that. That will spread it out within the community, right? At least California, just a community in there. What I definitely do want, mainly people coming in the community. And then eventually I want to open a shop, but not in a shop, because to be honest, I don't want to rent out a space. It's expensive, not really worth it. So I want to do it out of websites and do it out of my car. My future car. I need to get a car soon. And I need to get from my permit to my license. I'm actually coming back up to Denver actually in a couple of months to finish up my license. Because to be honest, I don't want to get my license in California. That's just starting over again. What's the point of that? Then I can visit some friends too, so that'd be kind of cool. Come back in a couple months, finish that up, visit some friends there for a week. So I'll be back. But
tell me a little bit more. Like, what's the thinking behind the t-shirts?
the what?
What's like your philosophy on these shirts? Like, why your shirts versus, I don't know, some other dude's shirts?
Well, I think that's something that I've been trying to figure out a little bit of how am I going to be able to show that mine are better, right? And I think it's all going to come down to designs. I think that my designs can be very creative. And then I also think that I'm not trying to make shit super expensive. I'm trying to make it more affordable. And I'm also trying to be able to make it, yes, it is a business, so I can do what I love. So I need to get money. But I also want to show compassion out of it and just show love towards people and really make it more of a community thing. That's why That's why I want to like partner with businesses that are helping homeless youth to young adults. So I can honestly just help people out and share my love to other people and just try to spread that joy in other people. And I know that a lot of people are doing that, but I feel like, to be honest, a lot of people aren't doing workshops for free. There's not a lot of people spending into, the vulnerable community. And I feel like that's very important. And I think that we're going to have a lot of cool designs, and I would love if they have some talented people, if they want to eventually partner up and do like 50-50 split, or honestly, just give them all the profit. I don't really care. But whatever, I guess at that point I'll figure that out when that happens. But just partner with talented people, and just try to make it a community based, not really money based, but just be able to do what you love and just have a community of people. Workshops, people come in, do their own art, stuff like that.
And
Instead of,
and the money will come.
yep. Support your community and they will support you. That's what I want my motto to be. So, that realistically, that's what it should be nowadays. We don't do that. We kind of just become greedy. And I feel like that's what's going to put me on edge is I don't want to be the greedy person. I just want to do what I love. And I also want the community to be able to experience that too if they want to and enjoy that with me. Let's be a community. Let's not be a let's be unified, not divided. Maybe we can bring unity through it instead of division. So a lot of division nowadays, but it all starts with one. You got Rosa Parks, right? All that. You got people like that back in the day. All it started with. You got Martin Luther King. All started as one person with an idea who can bring a lot of good in this world.
So I'm probably going to turn the camera off and set up behind you in a sec.
Okay.
But before I push out of this, I feel like you and I have been talking for months, like 6 months.
That's true.
And this could be, last time I thought it could be the last time, this time could be the last time.
You never know, man. I'll be bouncing in and
I mean, I'm hoping I see you again.
But I'll visit here. We'll get a beer or something. Don't worry. I got enough here.
And I'm good for a beer and a slice before you take off.
Oh,
June
yeah?
5th. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, I'm all in. I'm good for that.
I didn't even really care, but word.
But
sorry, that sounded rude.
no, that's all right. No, I didn't take any offense. But like signing off. I don't know, man. Tell me what did you get out of being here, and what are you looking forward to on this next chapter?
So, what I really got out of here was just honestly getting out of where I was to get the confidence I needed to be able to do what I want and to be able to achieve of what I want to do. Coming out here just gave me that chance. So just sometimes, right? I wish I could have gone to like Brazil or Africa to do this and just get a nice break. Actually, I probably would have stayed in Africa, actually, but we're over there. But I just needed to leave where I was at, just kind of get a complete break, not know anyone, and get a fresh start. And so, yeah, I kind of forgot your question. I'm forgetting a lot. This is bad.
And,
sorry.
And are there any, because you mentioned you were trying to get your passport and stuff done, and
Yeah.
your driver's license. Do you have ID and all that stuff?
So I do have an ID. I do have everything I'm gonna need. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get my Colorado license, but I'm gonna get a California ID because I gotta rep my Cali. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not a Cali hat. I can't wear that. It's just insulting. But I'm definitely gonna get that. But so I wasn't gonna get my passport because I do want to go travel, and this is another thing what's gonna help me at my business is to go to Mexico. Because Mexico, I can get a whole beach house for like $700. And what I want to do is I want to go down there like it's a vacation, bring some friends if they can come, and just have a good time. But at the same time, I got a whole place to myself for like $700. Just do that for like a month and just grind. Have some good times, but grind. I have all my t-shirts, print all of my t-shirts, and just have a whole place to do my business. And that's going to more happen when I come back up here to get my license, right? And then I get a car. Because once I get a car, I'll go to Mexico all the time. And then my passport. Obviously, I need my passport first to be able to go to Mexico. But that's the really cool thing also about California is California is expensive, but Mexico is cheap, And so I can just, do my business, get a beer, margarita or whatever, go sit on the beach, and chill. So that will be really cool too, to have that opportunity to live cheap. If you can live cheap, for a little bit, you can honestly make stuff for business work a lot better when you're close to that.